Hey guys, welcome to another video. Happy Chuseok. It's actually Chuseok in Korea right now. For those of you guys who may not know what Chuseok is, it's actually Thanksgiving Day in Korea, and also it's just a time where friends and families and relatives get together, eat good food, spend a good time, and also watch TV shows, because in Korea there's a lot of Chuseok specials, and each variety show or TV shows will be airing like pilot shows or even shows that aren't normally aired. So for example, Idol Star athletics competitions are always going on around Chuseok time and also even the New Year's time. So I thought that it'll just be really fun to kind of talk about it, because I know that I gotten a lot of questions ever since I made Idol Insider. I know that this was a very highly requested topic because it's kind of not talked about a lot, other than you could see idols dating each other, but other than that, there are a lot of things that you guys asked, and I'm going to be talking about it. Like I said before, I have been taking in questions on my stories. So for those of you guys who want to contribute and also ask questions for Idol Insider on the topics, follow me on Instagram, and it's Subini_. And also don't forget to follow me on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, let's get with the video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, I'm just going to be going through it in the order that I kind of just have it here. So how do you get tickets? So I would have to say for each idol group, the amount of fans that you can kind of admit into the fan section is going to be different. Basically, the more popular you are, the more fans you can actually have there rooting for you. I know this is kind of like biased, but it is because since they do have more fans, that they're going to have a bigger section for the fans. So basically, how you get the tickets is not like you can kind of buy the tickets. Basically, most of the times, if the company is, told how many tickets there are going to be, for example, like if it was a group and then they get 500 tickets or 500 tickets for the fans, then basically, then this will go over to the fan cafe, and then from the fan cafes, that is how it's going to be given to. I don't know, it can be kind of given as like first come, first serve, or each fan cafe is going to be doing it differently on how they are going to be managing to give out the tickets to the fans. So basically, you got to be in a fan cafe if you do want to kind of get the tickets, or yeah, that's how you're going to get the tickets. How long does it last? This is a really good question. It lasts the whole day. I would say that this is probably the longest filming that I remember from a lot of the variety shows that I've done. I would have to say it was the most difficult as well. Basically, it starts recording at like a really early time, like 7. So in order to get ready, you gotta go to the hair salon at 4, get ready, go to wherever the gymnasium is gonna be, and then wait till they start bringing everybody in one by one, stay backstage. So much things that are going on. So this is a really good question also, is how do male idols and female idols interact? So I would say that the most easy way to interact with each other is basically backstage, because there aren't cameras rolling, and also because once you're in the gymnasium and you're in the center of the gymnasium while all the fans are watching you, you are not going to be wanting to interact with any male idol or any female idol, because all eyes are on you. So basically, even if you just want to kind of do small talk, it has to be real quick, because then fans are going to be like, oh my god, so-and-so is talking to so-and-so, and the whole fandoms, and it's just not a pretty situation, and you don't want to deal with that. So another question that I got is, have you personally participated in ISAC? Do you guys say it ISAC or Isac, or I don't know, whatever. I'm going to say ISAC because I don't want to film this whole video saying it the wrong way, but our team has personally participated in ISAC, and I would have to say that it was very interesting. I didn't get to participate in a sport, and actually I really wanted to participate, but you aren't given a lot of chances sometimes if you are more of a rookie group. I'm going to be talking more about this later, because I feel like I saw questions talking more about this, so it's going to be going about that. But yes, I have participated. Is a real competition, or is it just to have fun? I mean, does it have an influence on the group's career? Yes and no. I would say that it is a real competition. Some groups might do it just for fun if they don't really have confidence in whatever sports they're doing. But I would say that for the rookies, it is a real competition because it is a time for screen time, and basically it's really hard to get screen time, and if you're going to be getting screen time with that much idols, it's just that much better to be getting the screen time and getting your group out there. So I feel like a lot of people really do try, and I feel like that is the sport and mind you should have when you're in a competition, or even if it's a variety show. You know, that's something that's very important. And also, does it have an influence on the group's career? I would say that this is also half and half, because in the beginning, Isac was really popular. I feel like it was super popular, like when it first started off, like wow, like that was like the chuseok, like that was this hard, you know, programs. It was the number one, you know. And then I feel like as time goes by, it did kind of lose its popularity, but a lot of people still watch it and a lot of fans still really watch it. So I would say that it does impact a group's career, but not as big as it did long time ago. Long time ago, if one member did really good in a sport, then all the other variety shows, they would call that member because that's the only reference that they had. But nowadays, there's so many references that you can make, like through SNS or, you know, reality TV shows. So it's really different. Can you really tell who is dating in Isac? For me personally, I couldn't really tell. Maybe it's because I wasn't really like concentrated to see, oh my god, I want to see who's dating so and so. But they say that you can tell. But for me personally, when I was there with a bunch of people, I feel like it's just such a crazy environment that you don't really pay attention, because if you think about it, you have thousands and thousands of different fans watching you, and also you're kind of being concentrated on the sport that you're kind of going to be doing, and there's so many idols around you that it's just like really hard to just pinpoint like out like who's dating. I mean, if you were wanting to do that, I guess you can point it out, but for me that wasn't something that I was very like interested in, so I didn't look at that. So another question that I got is, hi Christine, there are a lot of rumors that if you reject NBC's invitation for Isac, that they will ban you from future shows or will not invite you as much. Is that really true? I wouldn't necessarily say that they ban you from NBC or just like ban you from variety shows, but they will be very disappointed for, I would have to say that this usually goes for when the group gets popular over time. So for example, let's just say that there was a rookie group in like the beginning stages and they weren't that popular when they first came out on Isac or their first Isac, and then over like a couple years they got like really famous, and then basically Isac is like, oh hey, come out on Isac, but then if they're like no, they might be like giving you the guilt trip, like what are you talking about, like when you guys are rookies we helped you guys a lot. Or they might have a negotiation like, okay, only film this certain segment or only do this certain sport, and might have a little easier way out. But at the same time, a lot of fans really like it when their idols are on Isac, so which is another reason why the companies might be like, okay, you know what, like just do it, but then don't have them film for the whole day, because that's just like really draining on the body and for the idols. And since the idols are really busy, they might not even have time to film the whole day, so basically that's when like the negotiation can come along. But I would say that they definitely will be disappointed if you don't go on the show. So how did they choose the groups? I would have to say that the groups are chosen by the show producers and editors. Usually it's really hard to choose the groups if they are a rookie, because you don't really know their talents. But if they have been on the show for a while, they might be putting out and kind of like having a little bit of just a preference of what they think is going to be fair, and they're going to be putting the teams together. Usually teams that are in the same company as well, like the same entertainment, they might be in one group, and that's how they might be kind of organizing it. I feel like for each like Isac, it's always going to be different though. What is the purpose of Isac? Why do they have it every year? I mean, it's cool though. I would say that the purpose of it is because most of the time they have it on New Year's and also Thanksgiving, so it's a time where everyone's kind of home and just watching TV. So it's basically like really good screen time, good exposure, and at the same time it's kind of like a ritual, so I feel like NBC kind of wants to go through with it all the time. And also, if you are a rookie idol group, you do want to go on it as well, so it's kind of like a win-win all the time for both NBC and for the rookie groups. Is it rigged? I wouldn't say it's rigged, but the show producers and writers might know if, you know, so-and-so is actually really good in that certain sport, and then might pair them with a lower team. So basically, like, I don't know, if one group is really good at archery and they're more of a higher group, they might be, you know, putting you up against a group that is just like very new to archery, so that, you know, it can kind of be fun and that group that's more popular can go up higher. Which groups are the most competitive? I wouldn't really necessarily say that like there's certain idol groups that are more competitive. Definitely there are some idol groups that are going to be taking it more seriously, but I would say that the rookie groups are the groups that are the most competitive, because you're like trying to live with all of the idols out there and trying to, you know, get some screen time. So I would say that this is basically a show that a lot of rookie idol groups definitely tend to, you know, show light and do their best when it's filming time. How much practice goes into it before the competition? Usually, I remember when our group was preparing to go on ISAC, one member was actually going to be picked for the running segment, and it was the sprint, 100-meter sprint. And I remember basically it wasn't like a set member, so basically all 5 members ran, and we did this about like 3 times to see who won and who's the most fastest, and then after that basically that member was the only one practicing. But if you are in more of like a team sport, I would say that you tend to practice more frequently, or when you do have a lot of time. And the more busier the group, I mean, they're not going to have more time to practice, but the more, you know, rookie they are, or if they really want to do well in the sport, then they will practice more. Which competition do you think that you'll do the best in? A little backstory, I did track for 7 years, elementary school, junior high school, and a little bit of high school. So I would have to say that track is the thing that I'm the most confident in. I would really like to do the relay and also the sprint, but I haven't ran in a really long time, so I don't know if I will be good. Can boy groups and girl groups talk to each other? Basically, backstage you can, and I think that the easiest way to talk to them is if one of your group members know another group member, then you can kind of casually talk with their group, and then the members will casually talk too. That's usually how it goes, because that's the most natural way. Or when they're passing out snacks, you can kind of like be eating your snacks and then talk a little bit too. But at the same time, there's managers, so a lot of idols at the same time will kind of like not try to talk, because then they're gonna like get in trouble by their managers. So I mean, you do it low-key, or you just do it mainstream and like, you know, kind of do it like off the bat very naturally, like it's nothing, and then yeah, then the managers might think, okay, yeah, they're just like originally close, and then they just might leave it. But then if you look like you're trying to like get at them, like, oh hey, like, you know, so, you know, what's your name, you know, how you doing, then the manager might be like, okay, cut it out, cut it out. How are idols treated in the event? So originally I was gonna say this question in this video, but I feel like it's a little bit longer and it's a little bit more like serious on just my personal experience. So what I'm gonna be doing is, if this video gets up to 3,000 likes, I will be telling you guys my personal story on ISAC, because for me, it personally wasn't the best, and I kind of want to explain to you guys why I felt that way, but only if it gets up to 3,000 likes. So, you know, press the like button if you guys want to hear about what happens. Yes. Were the winners and losers planned? Usually they aren't planned. The sport and just the competition really is a competition. It's just a matter of how serious the idols are taking the competition to be, and it's usually not planned. Have you made any friends at this event? I personally didn't meet any friends, because I'm not the type of person to kind of like engage in a conversation. I feel like I kind of regret that though, because it is a place where it's easy to talk to idols because there's so much, and you have so much downtime because you're literally in this gymnasium in that one place for a really long time from when I was filming. So basically, I think that it is a really great way to make friends, but personally, I didn't make any friends while I was there. Were some idols not given the opportunity to participate and only called to show their face? Yeah, basically there are a lot of groups that only one member might be able to perform in, but the whole group comes to kind of cheer them on and also have screen time. So basically, for the members who aren't on the show, it is a little bit boring, but I mean, if you're all about that, then I mean, it's fine too. Would ISAC be considered an easy day for idols? Definitely not. That is probably the hardest day for idols because you wake up around 3, 4, go to the shop, go to the salon, and then go to wherever you need to film and then be filming the whole day. Nowadays, I feel like it's a little bit easier because the sports are divided into different like sections. So, you know, you might not need to be filming for a long time. But back in the day when I was on ISAC, I remember it was the whole freaking day, literally. Do fans of smaller groups get to go in? They get to go in, but not as much as the bigger groups. There's definitely like a set fan thing. I remember for our group it was only about like 50, and like other groups it could be like 200 or like 300. It's just like very different for each group. So yeah, kind of sucks, but I mean, it makes sense. The bigger the group, the more fans they're gonna have, and the more fans are gonna want to come to root for them. So while reading a lot of this, I actually thought about a certain scenario that I remember that happened. So how obvious is it when you know two idols are dating? What are some signs of dating? Actually, I don't know. I'm just gonna be, you know, telling the tea because I'm not even in an idol group anymore. So basically, I remember one of my members was dating another boy group member, and that boy group member was also at ISAC, and obviously the members know, you know, in our group, and then that boy group members know. So basically, you just kind of talk casually like your friends if you really do want to talk in a conversation, or if not, like you do not want to just say hi to them at all, then they'll just kind of give you like eye contact. And I just thought that it was super funny because they decided not to talk to each other. Basically, it's like a rule. Like the day before, it's like, okay, are you gonna play it out casually, like friendly, or are you gonna play it out like you guys don't know each other? They played it out like they didn't know each other, and it's just so funny because we see our member and we see that group, and like they're constantly doing like eye contact. So I guess this is where the eye contact kind of goes in, if they know. So that is kind of true. It just depends on how you want to take the situation, if you want to kind of be cool about it, or if you want to be like super secretive about it. But I feel like the more secretive you are, the more it's obvious, because I was like, it's like so obvious. You guys should just talk, like, you know, like make it casual. Like I feel like that's gonna be less obvious instead of like giving you guys eye contact. But that's what they decided to do. Do you get to choose what color tracksuits you wear? You do not get to choose what color tracksuits you wear. I wish, because sometimes some groups get super pretty colored tracksuits, and I'm like, damn, why am I wearing this super orange tracksuit or like with this like super purple tracksuit? But basically, how the tracksuits are given is after a group is finalized for the show, then they'll just be giving like colors randomly for the groups, and then if your group gets a good color, then you're lucky, but you do not get to choose. But I know that a lot of groups, when they're there, like, oh my god, I wish I had the gray tracksuit, or I wish I had the black tracksuit. I remember like we used to always talk about that because you get to keep the tracksuits at the end, and if you're having like a super like orange tracksuit or I don't know, purple tracksuit, like you're not gonna be wearing that. So do groups get invited, or whoever wants to participate can go? Oh man, I wish whoever wants to participate can go, then I would have won every year. But there are so many idols, and there are so many idols who really do want to be on the show, and not a lot of idols are given the privilege to. And I say this like a privilege because it really is hard to go on ISAC, because usually the writers only pick the most like relevant ones. So basically if they are recently made a comeback, or you know, if they're on TV more often. And I would say that it's really hard, and at the same time, if you are a rookie, you aren't going to be going on many sports competitions, so you might only be going on one sport, and it just kind of sucks like if you really like tried your best but you lost because you don't have any other time to kind of show screen time, and that's just the sad truth about it. It really sucks. Is it true many idols avoid ISAC because they get hurt easily? This is very true. If they are going to do a comeback, the company might not let them go on the show, especially because a comeback is very important and you do not want to get injured before you go on like music show programs, and if you haven't even like gone on the music show programs. So what they will usually do is they'll tell the writers, we're really sorry, but we're preparing for a comeback and it's going to be soon, and we don't want to like cause any injuries, so we're not going to be participating. Then the writers, if they really want the group to come, then they'll be like, okay, then we'll put you on competition where you don't use a lot of your body, and that's how they'll kind of negotiate. But most of the times a lot of companies might back out from it, because it is true, you do get hurt and you don't want to get hurt before promotions at all. So how do you think the atmosphere is inside there? I would say that it's pretty cliquey and very selective in a way. I say this because usually you're only talking to the people that you already know, and it's not really easy to initiate and engage in a conversation with a group that's kind of new and a group that you never knew. If you are more of like a social butterfly and you do not mind talking to them and do not mind putting yourself out there, then it's fine. But at the same time, a lot of cameras are on you, and at the same time a lot of fans are watching you, so unless you guys are like the same gender, this is like a really risky factor, and not a lot of idols will talk to other idols, and they'll just talk within their group, and unless they know somebody from another group, then they won't really talk. So I would say that it's very cliquey and secluded, and you only talk to the people that you already knew beforehand. The last question is, do companies force the idols to participate? I feel like a lot of idols that have filmed ISAC will know how tiring it is, because it's super tiring. It takes like almost the whole day, and it's a very long process, because after you win a competition, then you have to beat the semifinals and the finals, and then it just is a lot of time and a lot of filming. So I feel like the more popular you get, the more you do not want to film it, since when you're a rookie you want more screen time and you want to kind of get your group out there. But then when you're famous, they do not want to film for a long time, so they'll actually just negotiate with the company. We're like, okay, we'll go on ISAC, but we're only gonna do one sport, and after the sport is done, like, we don't want to film. Then if the manager tells that to the writer and the writer's okay with it, then the bigger idol groups will go on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really fun time making it. Like I said, if this video gets up to 3,000 likes, I will talk about my personal ISAC experience and the honest experience, because I feel like it's a whole video in itself. So yes. If you guys want the video, like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe, it would really mean a lot to me. And also turn on the post notification bell, the little bell, because then you guys are going to be informed every time a new video is up. And it's really been a long time since I filmed the Idol Insider video, but I'm so happy that I did, and it feels really good to be kind of like talking in front of the camera again. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good Chuseok, and see you in the next one. Bye!